Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to jump on this morning just to say hi and see how you're all doing this week. It's Monday. It's a little bit later in the morning on Monday morning. Many of you are at work. Many of you are going to watch this later on. But I really just wanted to take a few moments on a Monday morning, as it has been the last couple of Mondays that I've been doing, just to jump on and talk about something that really matters for us for each and every week as we head our week up. And last night I actually had the privilege of sharing with a church in England on about rethinking your thoughts, rethinking your thoughts. And I really wanted to just sort of reiterate a few of the things that were there from last night, and then just kind of add a couple of things that we didn't get a chance to talk about last night just because of time, and I didn't really want to. There was just certain things that needed to be said, which was great. So it was a great opportunity. But today I just want to take a few moments just to talk about rethinking your thoughts, or rethinking your thinking, if you will. And so I wanted to talk about that because our thought life, the way we think, the way we live our life in terms of the way we think in our day-to-day life, in our business life, and everything else that we do, shows us in many ways how we're actually, or comes out in how we actually live our life each and every day. And the thoughts that we're thinking also can actually, in that sense, the sense of depression, the sense of anxiety, the sense of other things that relate to that, can actually bury us and really push us under. And so what I want to say to you and talk to you about is, how can we rethink? How can we reset ourselves up for a better way of thinking? We think about so much stuff every day. I mean, look, we're making choices every day. We're making decisions. We're making decisions about what breakfast we're going to eat. We're making decisions about, bigger things, obviously, in life, much bigger things. What house we're going to buy, what people who we're actually going to touch, as far as helping people in our communities. The various things that go with our job life, as in our work life, the various things that go with our family life, how we're going to deal with certain things within our families, how we're going to deal with certain things within the life of all the stuff that we're doing in our world. And we're making those kinds of choices every single day. But what we need to do is we need to rethink about how we go about that, because at the end of the day, what we're allowing to be thinking about is actually going to come out of our mouth, and coming out of our mouth, it's actually going to affect people around us accordingly. So we need to actually take a few moments before we even say something, of course, to rethink about how we do that, rethink about how we actually go about our lives each and every day. Now, last night I was talking about a scriptural reference in Jeremiah 29 and verse 11. And it talks about how that God has certain thoughts towards us. And what I was saying last night was this, and this is really important, is that we need to put a filter on what it is that we're allowing ourselves to think. In other words, the stuff that we're taking in, the things that we're listening to, watching, reading, taking moments to actually do something about, as far as, listening to news, as far as listening to, this and that about whatever might be the latest news, what might be the latest thing that's going on. Let me just say to you that we need to be filtering that out and listening to some stuff that's actually going to be filtering in, that's going to be worthwhile listening to. In other words, there are things that we listen to. There are ways that we listen to you. There are things that we are doing in our daily lives that are really helping us, or not helping us, should I say, in the way that we live our life every single day. For example, when you get up in the morning, that good old saying of, good Lord, it's morning, or good morning, Lord, as I mentioned last week in my little dissertation that we had. But that whole scenario is about what we're actually thinking. It's about our mindset as we get up each and every day to do what we do and say what we say and go where we go. So it's very important to get our thought life into order. It's very important to get our thinking, our desires, the things that we're wanting to be, the things that we're wanting to do, into focus in the way that we actually go about doing what we do. There's great need in the world today for getting rid of anxiety. We're living in a world today that is very anxiety and depression ridden and riddled. And when I say that, what I mean by that also is the fact that we are not going to just have this now, but as we move forward, despite whatever COVID vaccines may come our way, whatever things that, people say, okay, let's just, try and get this back to normal and so forth and so on. We have a very much changed world, and a very much changed world in the sense that there are people that are in our world today that are, well, they're just not coping very well with what's going on. And into the future, unless they get some good help, unless they get some good instruction as to how to live their lives differently, anxiety and depression is only going to at least stay at the level that it's at, probably at a higher level than it's at right now. And so for us here on this Monday morning, as I'm just sharing with quite a few of you, and thank you so much for being on and listening, but I just want to say that it's so valuable when we actually stop to think about what it is that we are allowing into our heads, what we are allowing into what we're thinking about, and how we let it affect our will, how we let it affect our emotions, various things that can make us angry or hurt or pained, pain-filled, that kind of thing, or whether it's something that's actually making us, lift, or it's something that we do that is a thought process that eventually lifts others. So my desire this morning in just sharing this with you is just to say, you know what, when we're here, and as we're here this morning, one of the great things that's really important for you and I is to live our life not according to how we've been letting our thoughts run our life, but instead to actually get to a point where anxiety and depression and various other aspects of panic and panic attacks and so forth do not any longer rule our lives. And part of the answer for that is to actually filter out the things that are going to cause us to panic or cause us to get anxious, and start to filter in the things that are actually going to help us, that give us a future and a hope and something to look forward to. Let me ask you that question this morning as we look into that. In Proverbs 23 and verse 7 in the Bible, it says this: "As a man thinks, so is he." So if you're thinking about that you've got no future, that you've got nowhere to go, nowhere to think that things are actually any good, where are you headed with that? But if you've got something to look forward to, then you've got something that's going to actually really help you and grow you and change you and uplift you and encourage you. So let me ask you, what have you got to look forward to? Maybe write it down today, as you're watching this, maybe now or later on. What are you looking forward to? What is it that you've got to look forward to in your life? Is it a family thing that you've got to look to look forward to? Is it a business thing that you're looking forward to? Is it something that you're really looking forward to in terms of how you're moving forward with a certain strategy that you've got in business that you're looking forward to utilizing, that marketing or other kind of strategy? Whatever the case may be, this morning, I want you to take a few moments and ask yourself the question, what am I allowing to filter in? Now, there's lots of great spiritual and scriptural things that are great to let filter in. God's word, God's ways, God's wisdom. All of that is so important to our future. But let me just say this, that what words we allow in to our heads, into our minds, is oftentimes what words will come out. And as those words come out, they actually change us and sometimes motivate us and sometimes demotivate us, depending on what those words are and what those words are all about. So, in conclusion about what I wanted to share with you this morning, let me ask you a question again. What is it that you're letting in? What is it that you're doing about your life today that relates to your thinking? What are you doing about what you're thinking about? And of course, what you're doing in terms of your thinking and your mindset, it's so valuable to let stuff in that's actually really going to help you, bless you, uplift you, encourage you, and encourage others around you. There's a wonderful scripture that talks about whatever things are true and just and of good report, that are lovely, that are beautiful, that are amazing, that are encouraging, that are uplifting. All those words are what we need to be looking at. All those words are how we need to live our lives. All those words are the things that give us a clue as to how we should think and what we should think. So great to be with you this morning on this little live broadcast here this morning. If you're not part of our Gap Coaching Network, please join up. We'd love you to join that. The Gap Coaching Network is what we're doing as a means by which of networking people in business together to uplift and encourage them to be all that they possibly can be, and to upskill them in the things that actually they can be we can all be upskilled in, whether it be in the way we go about strategizing our businesses, or whether it be just skills in various areas that you need to or want to do that. So we have a great group called Gap Coaching Network. Please come and join us. We'd love you to join us and love you to be a part of that Gap Coaching Network and join in with us. If you know someone that's in business that could really benefit from rethinking the way they're going about their business, we'd love to help with that as well, because rethinking your thoughts in business is vital to making sure that we don't get stuck in the rut of way we're doing things. And of course, that's in life and in family and everything else that we're doing. Take the time today to say hi to somebody. Take the time today to do something good for someone else and be a blessing to someone else. Buy them a coffee. Tell them they look great. Whatever the case may be, do something amazing for somebody else that really lifts them and lifts their week. And you're amazing. For those of you that are watching and watching this later on, you are amazing. You're a God-made, incredible person. And I just want to say thank you for being you, and thank you for being a better you and becoming a better you by rethinking the way you're thinking today. God bless you guys, and thank you so much for letting me be with you on this wonderful day. Bye for now.